Hi everyone, welcome to today's yoga session. Today we're going to be looking at the digestive system. So the system that processes all our food and turns it into the energy and nutrients that we need to live and be healthy. So let's come and start with our seated centering. We're going to come and start with our respiratory system that we looked at last week. So let's just come and as we breathe, maybe again have a sense of the breath coming in through the nose and the trachea and going down into the lungs, having a sense of that system. So breathing in, breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. One last time, breathing in and breathing out. That way. So for today's lesson, we're going to come and warm up our bodies with a sun salutation. And then we're going to kind of go through all of the different components of the digestive system and what they do. And we're going to come and think about some of the reasons why we eat and think of some yoga poses, look at some yoga poses to do with the digestion. And we're going to end with some mindful eating. So I've got with me a little date to mindfully eat later when we come to finish. So you might like to just grab something, or you can always pause the video when we get to the end and go and get something like a raisin or whatever it is to come and mindfully eat. Okay. So on average, people eat about 1.27 kilograms of food every day. So that ends up being over 365 kilograms of food a year. And over the average lifetime, the average person over the average lifetime eats about 28 tons of food. So that's quite a lot of food. And all of that food that is eaten has to go through the digestive system. Okay, so it's quite amazing that we have this quite complex system that processes everything that we eat. So we're going to come and explore that a little bit more in a little bit more detail in a moment. But before we get there, let's come and warm our body up a little bit. So let's come onto our hands and knees. Let's come and have a sense of our cat-cow. So we can have our toes tucked under. So we look forward, lift the tailbone, stretching through the front of the body. And then tucking the chin, the pelvis together. So actually, even here in our warm-up, we can already start to come and have some awareness of the abdominal cavity, our belly, where our intestines are. So especially in our cat-cow, when we come forward into this pose, we feel that kind of opening of the belly. And then when we come into our cat and we're arching through the back, we can feel that constriction there. So here we're letting the belly open and come down towards the ground, the abdominal cavity. And then here when we go between our shoulder blades, we're squeezing around the abdominal cavity. So just, quite often when we're doing this pose, our attention is on our spine. We're having this sense of waving through the spine. But for today, we can really have a sense of our belly as well. And this can be a nice, as well as it being really good for our spine, it is a really nice massager for our abdominal area. Right, let's tuck our toes under. Come and stretch through our toes and our feet for a moment. Let's take my cardigan off, otherwise I'll get too hot. And then from here, let's bring our hands forward. We're going to lift up our knees, hips come back and just come and bend and straighten. Our downward dog, let the head and neck be relaxed. Fingers are nice and wide and spread. And then we're going to walk the feet towards the hands. Take a moment in our forward fold, just moving a little bit from side to side. And then we're going to come and roll up very slowly, vertebra to vertebra, until we're up to standing. My head is slightly chopped off. And then from there, we're going to come and do our sun salutation. So if you haven't got a mat, it's no problem, just making sure you've got space to step out behind you. Okay, so breathing in, bringing your hands in front of your chest. Breathing out. Breathing in, bringing your arms up. Breathing out, folding forwards. Breathing in, we're going to step back with the right foot And then holding the breath, we're coming into our plank. Breathing out, lowering the knees, lowering the body. Breathing in, we're coming into our baby cobra, so just lifting the hands, keeping the feet connected to the floor. Breathing out, coming back through our child pose, into our downward dog. Taking a breath here. On our next breath in, we're going to step forward with our right foot. And on the breath out, the left foot is coming to join. Breathing in, taking the arms out wide. Breathing out, hands in front of the chest. Okay, let's come and do the other side. So stepping back with the left foot. I'm just going to come and adjust this just a tiny bit. It's got a little bit wonky. Just get those angles right, and I'll try and move my mat back a little bit so I'm not chopped off. A little bit better. Okay. Breathing in, breathing out, bringing the hands in front of the chest. Breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, folding forwards. Breathing in, we're going to step back with the left foot. So we're in that lunge, and then we're going to hold our breath and step back into our plank. So we've got the shoulders over the wrists. Breathing out, we're lowering the knees, lowering the body down, coming into our baby cobra, lifting the hands up, lifting the chest. Breathing out, putting the hands down, pushing back through our child pose into our downward dog. Taking a breath here, letting the head and neck be relaxed. On the next breath in, stepping forward with the left foot. On the breath out, the right. Taking the arms out wide, making a big circle, bringing the hands together and lowering them in front of the chest. Coming to take a moment, stand in your mountain pose. Just coming to notice how you feel after that short movement practice. Okay, let's come down to sitting. And we're going to start by coming to discuss the digestive system and doing some movements with it. So the digestive system is made up of 10 organs. So it's quite a lot of stuff going on there. And we're going to sort of divide these into 3 components. And the first component contains 6 organs and is the gastrointestinal tract. So that is the passage that goes all the way through the body, from the mouth all the way down to where we excrete what we don't need, the waste, our poo. So we start, the first organ is the mouth, okay, and then we have the esophagus, which is the pipe that the food goes down, so not the windpipe, and sometimes when we get those confused, we do feel it. Coming down, the esophagus opens up into the stomach, which is just sort of underneath the diaphragm here on the left. We have the small intestine, the large intestine, and the rectum. Okay, so let's come and start by bringing a little bit of attention to our jaw, and quite often you can just sort of squeeze and sort of gently pinch and release and just go all along the jawline. And quite often, even before we've put food into our mouth, our digestive system's already started working. Some of you might have heard the phrase mouth-wateringly good. Let's come and do that again. And so sometimes when we've got something really delicious and we're even just looking at it, we can feel the saliva in our mouth starting to be there. So we're kind of preparing to put something delicious into our mouths. And our jaw, I'm going to give it a little massage. It's obviously very important in our digestive system. We couldn't eat without our lower jaw. So the lower jaw is of utmost importance. We have really strong muscles here called the masseter muscles. We've got our teeth to break down food. So we come to chew our food. We add the saliva to it. And when we've chewed it enough, we swallow down into the esophagus, and the bit of food that's going down the throat is called the bolus. And let's come and just bring a little bit of movement to our neck. So like I was saying, sometimes food goes down the wrong pipe. That can be really dangerous. You can come and choke. You can't breathe if food is in the wrong place. So looking down, looking up, it's gone down the wrong way. So always really important when we're eating to just try and not be running around or anything like that, because that can sometimes be a little bit dangerous. Although, having said that, you can eat upside down, although not that I'm suggesting you try that, because again, it could be dangerous. But just so we know, when we swallow down, we think we swallow down, that it's not actually gravity that pulls the food down. So even if you were upside down and you swallowed, the food would still go down, go up, because the esophagus has lots of sort of muscular things that help pull the food down, so help pull that bolus down into the stomach. And then let's come and see if we can have a sense of our stomach here. The bolus enters the stomach, and there's lots of acid in the stomach, and the food gets broken down even more in the stomach. And the stomach lining has a thick kind of mucus around it, and that's to protect itself from itself, because the acid in the stomach is really strong. It's so strong that it would burn your skin. But the mucus around the inside of the stomach lining helps protect the actual stomach from the acid inside it. So the food goes from the stomach into the small intestine, and as the food travels through the small intestine, lots of the nutrients and the useful stuff from the food is absorbed by the blood and the tissues, and then it travels through the small intestine, goes into the big intestine, and when it's in the big intestine, there aren't so many nutrients and things like that to be absorbed. More just water is taken out and salts, and then the waste products are just turned into poo. And so that's the whole of the gastrointestinal tract. Let's come and do a little tummy massage, a little intestinal massage. We're going to use the heel of our right hand, and we're just going to come and gently go from right to left in a circle, just circling around the belly button. It's going to feel really nice after you've had food. It'd be really lovely to just come and massage your belly. And when we're massaging, we're using the heel of our hand, which is using a little bit of pressure, but we're being really gentle. So the tummy, the gut is quite a sensitive area. You might have heard of people talking about the gut brain, or the second brain. There are loads and loads of neurons in our gut, and so we have amazing sensitivity and intelligence in our gut. Okay, so we're being really gentle with it when we come to massage it. Okay, so let's come on to the next component. So that was the first component, the gastrointestinal tract, the passage of the food all the way through. So the second component of our digestion system is a trio of organs, 3 organs, the liver, the gallbladder and the pancreas, and they create these special juices that help break down. So they help they usually in the small intestine, they help to take out nutrients and break the food down even more. Okay, so let's come. They kind of help to dissolve things. So we're going to come and imagine we're something that needs to be dissolved, and from here we're going to meet some juices from these organs, and we're going to come and dissolve out. So one of the juices created by the liver is called bile, and bile is stored in the gallbladder. And bile helps to break down fats. So can get helps to break them down so they can be absorbed and digested. Great. Coming back up. Now the third component of our digestive system is it's not a new organ, obviously it's been there all the time, but it's recognised as an organ quite recently, and it's called the mesentery, and it's basically an organ that holds the intestines in place. So it's kind of behind the intestines, and it keeps them stable and in place. It also has lots of blood vessels and lymph channels and nerves, and so it aids with the whole of the system of digestion as well. So this keeps our intestines stable. So let's just come into our downward dog for a moment, and just imagine as we come into this kind of more slightly upside down pose, if our intestines weren't stable, they might be moving up towards our diaphragm right now, and that might not feel so comfortable. They move maybe a little bit to our diaphragm, but the mesentery helps to keep them in place where they should be. Brilliant. Let's come and walk our feet forward. Walk our hands up our legs. Ooh. So, one of the functions of eating, as we talked about earlier, was so that we could have some energy. So we're going to come and do a really energizing pose now. We're going to come and do some kangaroo jumps and boxing. So kangaroos, as well as jumping, some of you might know that they have a tendency to box as well, the male kangaroos. It's one of the things that, I think it's just, I'm not sure if it's just is it all kangaroos that do that? I'm not sure. Definitely the red kangaroos. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 kangaroo jumps and then we're going to box. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do it the other side. 1, 2, 3. So we'll do both sides, okay? And we'll do that a few times just to come and use some energy and see, you know, this is the sort of thing that we eat food for, so that we can do things like this. So let's come and do our jumping. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Maybe you can feel your heart rate going. I can feel my heart beating. Maybe you can feel a little bit of heat in your body there. Let's come and do a breath. Let's come and bring our hands together. We're going to come and do our flower breathing with our fingers together. Breathing in, we're going to open our hands apart. And breathing out, we're going to bring them back. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So that used quite a lot of energy, but anything that we do uses energy. Thinking, walking, we don't have to be doing highly energetic movements like those kangaroo jumps, but we need food to fuel us. So food is our energy, and then also we need food to grow. So let's come down into our squat. So you as children, obviously, are still growing. As adults, we might not be growing taller or bigger anymore, but every day our cells are renewing as well. So our body is always kind of creating new cells, so we're always sort of renewing ourselves. So even though we're not growing in the same way as children, we still need healthy food so that the body can renew itself and stay healthy. So from our squat, if you've got your heels down, coming up onto your toes, we're going to bring our hands together and we're going to come and grow. So let's come and grow. Ooh, I'm going off the camera, off the screen, coming all the way back down. So we need lots of healthy food to help us grow. And when we think about healthy food, we can think about food groups. Let's come up one more time, and this time we're going to stay standing up. So maybe you know the food groups. I'm not going to say them straight away. If you know them, you can say them, and then I'm going to say them. It's the fruit, vegetables, dairy, grains, and protein. And lots of these kind of cross over, well, not lots of them, but some of them cross over with each other. Okay, so what we need is we need to have a balanced diet of something, a little bit of something from all of these groups to keep us healthy. Although obviously you can, as I was sort of saying, you can replace certain food groups, you can get certain nutrients. For instance, vegans don't eat dairy, but they can get their protein and some of the nutrients that are found in dairy from other foods. So, but you still have to have those nutrients that you would get from dairy, things like calcium you get from milk, but you can also get calcium from green vegetables. So vegans, even though they don't drink milk, they might eat lots of green vegetables, so they'd still get their calcium that way. But it's important to have a balanced diet, and on that vein, from that thought, we're going to come and do a balancing pose. Okay, so we're going to come and do our dancer. So let's come. We're going to take up one foot here, so we've got a little quad stretch happening here. Okay, remember, if you feel a little bit wobbly, you can also always do this near a wall or near something. We're going to come and bring our foot up behind us. Might want a little bit of space to come forward. Okay, so holding your foot, we're going to let the foot come forward, come backwards into the hand. We're going to come forwards with the other arm. We're going to come into our dancer pose. Feeling nice and balanced, maybe you can hold on to something if you need to. Just breathing there, coming all the way down. And we'll come to do the other side. So all of the different food groups give us have different nutrients and different things that we need to stay healthy, to create energy, to grow. Let's come to the other side, feeling that quad stretch on the other side, pushing the foot back into the hand and just coming forward. Breathing here. So fruit and vegetables have lots of vitamins and minerals, and proteins really help us to grow and keep healthy skin and hair and nails. So we need a little bit of all kinds of food. So I'm going to come and do a couple of food poses now. Well, I'm not going to just do them, you're going to do them too. And then we're going to see if we know maybe what kind of food they are. Are they a carbohydrate, a grainy food, or are they a protein? Would they be in the fruit or vegetable section? Or let's come and see. So our first pose we're going to do, we're going to bring our arms up, we're going to fold forwards, and we're going to come and let our arms and our head be floppy. I'm going to come and turn this way, like floppy spaghetti. We're coming to our spaghetti pose. So letting your arms and your head and neck be floppy, like floppy spaghetti. And then coming to roll all the way up slowly. Maybe our spaghetti is a little bit cooked now. So anyone know what food group spaghetti would be in? Yeah, I'm sure loads of you do. That's right, it's a grain, a carbohydrate. So pasta is a carbohydrate, that gives us energy. Okay, let's come and do another pose. Let's come down to squatting. We're going to come and bring our seat down, and I'm going to come sideways so you can see. We're going to bring our arms around our knees, hug our knees in, and I'm just going to come and rest my eyes on my knees, and I'm going to be a cosmic egg, not just any old egg. So when you've got your eyes on your knees, it's all totally dark, and you can imagine you're just floating in space. Breathing here. Okay, and then releasing. So eggs, does anyone know what type of food or food group eggs would be in? Yeah, so it's a dairy food, but egg is also a protein. So eggs have got lots of protein in them, so great for keeping us healthy. Right, so we're going to come and explore now a couple of yoga poses that actually aid digestion as well. And actually, the first one we're going to come and do is a really nice abdominal massage. And this can be, we're going to come onto our bellies. This can be really nice to do before you eat, actually. It can kind of prepare your body for digestion by giving your organs a little bit of a massage. So it's our bow pose. So we're going to come and bend both legs. We're going to take hold of the feet. So it's a little bit like a double dancer. If you imagine we were standing up with one, if you're our dancer, it's our double dancer, we couldn't really stand, could we? So pushing our feet back into our hands. We're opening up. And maybe you can have a sense of being able to breathe and a little bit of rocking and just feeling how that feels on the abdominal, on the abdomen. And then from here, releasing, bringing the hands down by the shoulders. We're going to push back into our child pose. So I thought that felt quite nice for me, coming into our child pose, taking a moment just to stretch out the lower back. Okay. And we're going to come now into a twist, which is another kind of massaging for the intestines. So let's come and bring our legs out in front of us. So we're coming into L-shaped sitting. We're going to come and take our right knee, place the right foot over the left leg. Okay, and then I'm going to take my left arm and I'm going to wrap it around my right knee. I'm going to take my right hand behind me and I'm going to breathe in and I'm going to lengthen through my spine. And then as I breathe out, I'm going to twist around, head and neck going last. And then just breathing there and noticing again how it feels around your abdomen, around your abdominal cavity with your digestive organs within it. And then releasing, and we'll come and do the other side. So let's take the right leg out. We're going to take the left foot over, left knee bent, taking the right arm around the left, taking your left hand behind you, breathing in, just creating space between the spine, and then breathing out, twisting around. Just breathing here. Again, letting your awareness and your attention be down in your abdomen, and then releasing. Okay, now throughout the practice, we were doing quite a lot of squatting poses. Now this is really good for encouraging poo. You know, if you ever feel a little bit like you need to do a poo, you haven't done one, this is the position that helps the waist move through our sort of lower colon into the rectum so that we can come and poo. So our squat there is always really good, also good for our hips and our knees and our ankles as well, so lots of benefits from our squat. And then our last pose is another one that might make you chuckle a little bit. It's our wind release pose. Wind release pose, and yes, that does mean farting. So let's come and lie down. Okay, and this is actually one of my favourite poses. It's really nice sometimes, because sometimes I do get a little bit of a sore tummy, and sometimes we can get trapped wind or trapped gas, feels like, in the intestines. And this pose, what it does is it kind of gives a really nice massage to the lower belly. So we're going to bring both knees in. So we're using the knees and we're also using the breath. So we're breathing out with the knees in. We're breathing in as we move the knees away. And then as we bring the knees back, we're breathing out. Breathing in, we move the knees away. Breathing out, we bring them back in. And we do this sort of slowly and mindfully, having this sense that you're massaging your intestines, and feeling how it is as you breathe out. You can maybe bring the knees a little bit closer, breathing in and breathing out. You can maybe even rock a little bit, rock the knees, or move the knees a little bit. From circling the knees can also feel really nice around the tummy. Okay, and then let's come and put our feet down. Let's let both knees come to the side. And we're going to come and do a little bit of mindful eating now. So I'm going to come a little bit closer to the camera for our mindful eating. So maybe you have to pause the video to go and get whatever you're going to mindfully eat. I've got my date here. My date. There we go. So when you've got whatever it is that you're going to eat, just taking a moment. So when we mindfully eat something, we're really going to take our time and we're going to notice with all of our senses. Okay, so first I'm just going to look at it and I'm going to notice the details of the date. And maybe if it's something that's mouth-wateringly good, you might notice as you bring the date towards your mouth that saliva starts to be produced. And then we're going to smell our food. Taking a moment to smell. It might have a smell, it might not have a strong smell. A smell of something. Okay, and then before we just go in and bite the food off, just place it kind of on your lips with your tongue and just notice how it feels. And the first taste as you put your tongue onto it. And then come to bite. Notice how that is. Texture. The taste. Just really allowing the sensation. And then coming to swallow. Noticing that as well. And actually, they say that you should chew each mouthful of food about 30 times, which means It's quite a long time actually to chew 30 times. You can test it over dinner and see. It takes quite a long time that food is like properly chewed. But with mindful eating, yeah, we kind of slow it down, and we can really enjoy it in a different way and have a sense. Sorry, I'm talking with something in my mouth. Have a sense of the mouth feel. So, is it chewy? Is it soft? How does it feel in your mouth? So, I'm part Chinese, and in Chinese culture, mouth feel is just as important as taste. How something feels in your mouth, the texture, is really important as well as how it tastes. So, I want to notice that. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed, or hopefully you had something yummy for your mindful eating. We're going to come now to take our rest. So I'm just coming to let yourself lie down. If you want to get a blanket or anything like that, you can. I'm just going to lie down for a moment. I'll come back up to sitting. Maybe if you're lying down, maybe just coming to place your hands on your belly. Just tuning in to the belly. I'm going to come and sit back up so I don't nod off. But yeah, just coming to tune into your belly. Letting go any tension in the body. And letting your belly be really relaxed. Your tummy, your abdomen, just really allowing it to soften and relax. Just having a little bit of a sense of wonder. The amazingness of our digestive system. And all that it does. And for the digestive system to really work really well, we need to be in a kind of, we can't be in a stressed out state. So if we're too stressed out, the digestive system doesn't work so well. So just coming now to allow yourself to feel the support of the ground beneath you and really have a sense that you can let go into it. A little bit like, imagine a piece of butter on a very hot bit of toast. Feel the butter and just imagine that you're melting into the toast beneath you. A little bit of food relaxation for us there. And maybe with your hand on your belly, you can have sense a little bit of movement as the breath moves in and out of the body. And maybe you can have a sense of some sensations in your belly. Maybe not, just being curious and noticing. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do this or the right or wrong thing to feel. You're just noticing what is there. What is there? What is there? And we allow it to be there. And just feeling cozy and safe and relaxed for a moment. Maybe under your blanket or just in your relaxation position. Feeling that gratitude Gratitude for your body. Gratitude for all the organs of your digestion, all that they do every day. Just sending all the organs of your digestion a little bit of gratitude and thanks and love. And then coming to perhaps wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can bring your arms up behind you and stretching through your body. We can bring the knees into the chest and we can roll over onto our side into what's called fetal position. And I was just thinking, I was saying about staying being cozy and safe and warm. We were all inside a belly. Well, we weren't really inside a belly, we were inside a womb that grew inside a belly, but yeah, in our fetal position. So feeling cozy and safe and warm. And then bringing your upper hand, your top hand down, pushing up, coming up to sitting. Just having a moment of just acknowledging your amazing body, your amazing being. Let's bring our hands in front of our chest and let's just come and bow to each other, to ourselves. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming and joining me. I hope you enjoyed our digestive adventure. See you next time. Bye.